Okay, so let's add a variable product. Click under products over here on the left, add new. So there are two types of product, a simple product and a variable product. And for all of these, you use the basic editor. You don't activate the advanced layout editor. So this might be yeah, landscape by the sea. So this section here is where you add the description. And down, 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 below all the other content is the information about the product itself. So the first thing you choose is variable product. You don't need to worry about these. Now in terms of prints, I guess you got to make up your mind whether you're only going to sell one at a time. If you only want to sell one of each item, then check this box. Otherwise you can leave that unchecked, and that will allow people to buy multiple copies of it. And then basically you work down this list. In terms of shipping, this is something we're going to have to discuss. The best thing to do is to include shipping in the cost. So if you can price things so that it covers Australia-wide shipping for the size of the item, then that's great. Otherwise, I'll help you to put together some shipping classes, and then you'll just be able to apply them against each of the items. And all the shipping class does is determine what the value is and how that's calculated. So you can either put the dimensions of the item in, including the weight, and then we can hook into the Australia Post plugin if we want to. But all of this is a conversation for another time. Linked products are just upsells and cross-sells that may be similar. So you might have a category that you want to link to, and maybe like landscapes, ocean landscapes in this case. Cross-sells would be if there is something that goes with the image, like, I don't know, you could start selling seashells or something. They can put a landscape up on their wall and then seashells on the floor next to it. I don't know. Okay, so the next bit is the important bit. The custom product attribute. So these things are elements that we apply as variables. So in this case, we might call one of the variables matting. And then we've got black, white, beige, just as an examples. And we select that these are used for variations. Then we might add a variable of frame type. So and you might have wood, black, plastic. Actually, you wouldn't call it, you'd call it enamel. That sounds tougher. Okay, so you select that the attribute is used for variations. So generally with prints, these would be the only physical variations that you would use. The other thing is size. So if you want to have size attributes that will add another level of complexity. But let's say, actually, you're going to see enough with matting and frame just for this demo, because when you add size, it just becomes even more kind of complex. So now we come down to variations, and there's an drop-down variation option called Create Variations from Attributes, which is the one we're going to choose. And what that does is it creates a matrix of the attributes. So in this case, we've created 9 variations. That grows exponentially with more items. So with black matting and wood frame, open it out, and this is the thing that is important to remember, that for every variation you create, you have to have a unique price. So for this one, we're going to say 12. For the one with the enamel frame, we'll say 15. And one thing to keep in mind, and this is really important, is if you do this really well, then you'll add images of examples of the frames and the matting that you're using. So you can add those there. Black with white enamel, and this is just a matter of setting up examples like demo photos. I might make that 17, and so on and so on. This is a little bit tedious now. Why did I make so many variations? Because I wanted to do a good job. Where's the reward in that? Well, you get to talk to yourself while you're doing a training video. So you question your life choices. Make that one $8, why not? Okay. So the annoying thing about creating these variations, as you may have already picked up, is that you can't set a default price for a particular variation item. So you can't just say, okay, if it's beige, it's going to be $9, and if it's white enamel, it'll be $9, and so that will add up to 18. You've got to put all the pricing in individually. So anyway, the good news is you go through that once, and we can now have a look at the product once we add a product image. So these two things down the bottom, and remember, these can always just be dragged and dropped wherever you like. If you're using this a lot, drag it to the top. It'll be unique to your browser window, but let's just make that one feature product. And what that will do is make that the image that people click on when we go to your shopping cart matrix. So more on that in a moment, but we might add a few images to the gallery as well. If you're doing this like crazy well, then you would put the product image into like overlays within Photoshop of a black frame with white matting, black frame with black matting, wooden frame with white matting, and they would appear down here in your product gallery, and then be replicated in the variations. So when you're using product variations like this, you've got to be pretty committed to making enough money from each sale to justify the time that it takes to set up. Okay, now let's have a look at our product. Just have a click on it. Okay, so here we have our main product, and here are the options: white matting, black enamel frame, and that's what generates the price. Black enamel, whoops, black background, So you see those dynamic prices when the elements change. Now we've made it so they can add multiples to the cart. But with product variations, the fun thing about this is that they can add this one to the cart. They want one with black and white enamel, and they want black and black enamel. And then we can view the cart, and you'll see, holy moly, even though they've been on the same page, we haven't set up the shop page. Tee-hee-hee. Well, let's set that up now. But point is, they will go to the shop page and they'll see these items. You can see there's 15 and 17 there, even though it's from the same product page. So let me sort out the shopping cart. But hopefully that's enough information to get you started. At the very least, you'll get started and possibly make some mistakes, and that's when you can reach out to me.